Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Ivan Wicksteed, the SVP and Global CMO of Old Navy. Go get him.
All right. Okay, so they told me to come and rant for 10 minutes. I have no slides. I haven't really prepared a speech. They just want me to rant on the subject of being fearless and what that means. And someone actually just asked me backstage whether I was nervous about coming up, and I thought that was sort of an oxymoron. You're not allowed to be a speaker talking on the subject of fearless if you're nervous about coming up here. But there's not a lot of nerves back there. It's sort of like that last scene in Gladiator back there. Everyone's kind of very fearless, walking around being fearless back there. So I was thinking about, I just flew on a red eye, so I was thinking on the plane about how I could talk about the subject of fear and being fearless. I don't really consider myself a particularly fearless person, so I was thinking, how could I bring it to life for you? And I'm definitely an advocate of being rather than talking and doing rather than saying. So I thought I'd bring it to life through an actual example. I thought I'd try and actually introduce fear into the audience, but through an actual example. So you may know there's a lot of places in the world where they still do initiation ceremonies, actually, to try and find out who the most fearless people are. One of my personal favorites is there's a ceremony that comes out of Brazil. This is a true story, called the bullet ant ceremony. So the bullet ant is called, it's a tiny little ant, but it has a crazy bite. It's a very powerful bite. It's actually the most painful sting of any insect in the world. It's called the bullet ant. You should look it up. And they have this ceremony, basically, where they take these bullet ants and they drug them. You know, the strength of the bite of one ant is supposed to be the equivalent of being shot by a bullet, hence the name. So they take these ants and they drug them. I don't know how they drug 30 of these ants. There's probably a subcommittee for drugging the ants. And they put them in a glove, and the person who's being initiated has to wear that glove. And as the ants wake up, you know, obviously they're pissed off. You know, I'm sure if you've been out and been drugged and woken up in someone else's glove, you'd be pissed off as well. So they do what bullet ants do and get busy biting. And the person being initiated has to basically just stand there in front of all of his peers in the village and not display any fear for 10 minutes whilst these 30 bullet ants go to town on his hands. So I thought I'd do that experiment here amongst you in the audience, because I wouldn't be able to do it. I would cry like a baby. There's absolutely no way. I'm not a very brave person. But I thought I would do a similar exercise here, so you can get to experience what fear feels like. How does that sound? So here's what we're going to do. Actually, it's going to be an interesting exercise to see if the people back in the green room do this, where I've just been sitting. So we're going to turn to the person to your right. We're actually going to do this. I am going to try and scare you as much as possible. I really am. This is going to be the scariest thing that's happened to you today, probably all week. It's the only thing you're going to remember from what I say, guaranteed. Okay, turn to the person to your right. If there isn't someone to your right, go find someone. Turn to the person to your right. Okay? Get comfortable. Now, don't start a conversation. We're going to get through this quickly. Get comfortable, because you are going to end up interacting with this person, right? This is what we're going to do. Turn to the person to your right. Okay. It's a really simple thing. It's a really simple thing that I'm going to ask you to do, but it's going to scare you a lot, what I'm going to ask you to do. Okay. So what I'm going to ask you to do is to have a conversation with the person to your right, not a Twitter conversation, an actual human conversation with the person to your right. And it's a simple conversation. I'm going to tell you exactly what the conversation is, so you don't need to make it up. You're going to say, hello. Then there's going to be a pause. Then you're going to say, my name is Ivan. Don't say my name is Ivan unless your name is Ivan. That would be really weird. Then there's going to be another pause. Then they're going to say back to you, my name is, and they're going to say their name. Then there'll be a pause, and then you'll say, it's really, really nice to meet you. That's what's going to happen. Is that cool? Okay. So don't do it yet. I'm actually going to walk you through the conversation, because I know there's probably a lot of people that are already looking for the exit. And I guarantee they're not doing this in the green room. I guarantee it. Maybe they'll prove me wrong. Okay, so a couple of ground rules. So do you all know who you're going to talk to? Okay. So two ground rules. I believe that when you have a conversation with someone, you may remember having conversations with people. It used to happen quite a bit. That you look at someone in the eyes when you're having a conversation with them. So what I'd like you to do is when you're having this conversation with them, I'd like you to look at that person directly in the eyes and don't take your eyes off their eyes. I want there to be eye contact for the entire conversation. That's the first rule. The second rule is I want you to establish a physical contact with that person. Because I believe that conversations are much more memorable when you have some form of physical contact. I don't just believe it, it's actually proven to be true. So I would suggest that you hold their hand, or both of their hands, ideally both of their hands. If you're uncomfortable doing that, then you can take their arm, or you could put your hand on their shoulder, or on their head. That would be weird, but you could try it. You can touch them wherever they feel comfortable with that happening. You could maybe have a conversation with them about where they would like you to touch them. Okay, so that's what's going to happen. And I'll walk you through the conversation, so it's going to be really easy. You just have to repeat after me what I said we were going to say, and just repeat it. And it's going to be really easy. Okay, so turn to the person to your right. Here we go. We're going to do it. And I'm going to time it. Okay. Hold on. Don't start. Don't start. I'm going to walk you through this. I'm going to walk you through it so no one leaves. Hold on. I'm going to walk you through it. Okay. This conversation, one more rule. This conversation is going to last for 30 seconds. It's going to last for 30 seconds, okay? So there's going to be some pauses. And those pauses need to be silent pauses. Okay, so turn to the person to your right. Look them in the eye, and do not take your eyes off that person. Look each other in the eye. Do not break eye contact. Hold their hand. Do not lose eye contact with them. Okay, we're going 30 seconds. Okay, repeat after me. Silence. Silence, please. Okay. Repeat after me. Are you ready? Okay, repeat after me. Here we go, 30 seconds. Hello, my name is. Silence. Keep the eye contact. Do not lose the eye contact. Don't let go of their hands. Okay, now the other person says, hi, my name is. Keep the eye contact. Don't lose the hands. Okay, both of you say, it's really, really nice to meet you. Okay, awesome. That's it. Congratulations. That is by far and away the scariest thing that anyone is going to ask you to do today. Probably this week, actually. And, you know, let's be honest. I mean, I guess there's 2 points I'm trying to make here. The first is that what we do here, what we do in marketing, it's really not that. I mean, we're not battling with bullet ants, are we? You know, I mean, this is not a scary thing that we're doing. Marketing, the worst thing that's probably going to happen to you in this room is you may get scolded on a cappuccino, or you may like get a paper cut, maybe trying to swap business cards too enthusiastically during the break. But that's probably, you know, those are occupational hazards. There's nothing really inherently dangerous about marketing, so there's really nothing to be scared of. That is by far and away a much more scary exercise than anything I've done in my professional career. So that's, I guess, the first point that I wanted to make about fear. And the second point is, and this is, I guess, is my serious point, is fear is a good thing. I mean, I think it's a really good thing. I think, actually, anyone seen that film, Jeff Bridges' film, Fearless? It's an old film, but basically he's in a plane crash and he's the only survivor. And then he goes on to live this life where he's fearless, obviously, it's the title of the movie, which basically involves him running around without his shirt and shoes on most of the time and sort of having a good time, basically. I think that's the point of the movie, is that, you know, when you're in a plane crash, your life gets better. I don't know whether that's statistically true or not, but I think that's probably the point of the film. I just don't agree with that. I really don't. I mean, I've never been in a plane crash, so I don't know for sure, but I don't agree with the point of the movie, and I don't really agree with the, I guess, the applied assumption in the title of this conference that life would be better if we were in absence of fear. I just don't agree with that. I think that Aldous Huxley probably had it right when he wrote Brave New World. That's what the world looks like without fear. It's boring and everyone's taking drugs, and it's not that much of an interesting place to live. So I like fear. I sort of go out of my way to put myself in situations where I'm sort of flying blind. Professionally, I mean I think physical coward, but professionally I've taken a lot of risks. And you know, I like to be in jobs where I feel out of my depth and that I'm learning a lot and that I'm sort of having to make the rules up because I don't know what the rules are. So definitely the last 3 jobs that I've done, I've been completely and utterly unqualified to do. And I get the best work out of myself and the best work out of my teams when I'm in that situation. I get bored easily when I'm in a situation that I don't have any fear. So I'm always saying to my boss, and I said to my previous boss as well, when I'm presenting ideas or work to him, his name's Stefan, that the reaction that I'm going for is that I want him to feel 50% terrified and kind of horrified by what I'm presenting to him, and 50% intrigued and interested by it. You know, that's kind of the sweet spot for me. That's what I like to. That's the reaction that I like to get in people, and that's like kind of how I like to live. So fear is good, and the idea of being fearless or living in a world without fear, I think, is basically a bad idea. I don't agree with it. So that's my first point. My second point is, and I spoke to my brother. I spoke to a couple of people actually. My brother's a rock climber, so he climbs professionally, and so he actually does know a bit about fear. And I also spoke to a mate of mine, Will, who he might be here. He runs an agency here in New York, and he periodically goes away and tries to kill himself, basically, from what I can tell. He walks across the Antarctic and cycles across India and does just, I don't know why he does this stuff, but he does it all the time. And so I talked to both of them about fear, and I was like, what have you know, maybe they thought maybe they have some words of wisdom. And they both said two words that I thought were interesting. The first was, talked about belief. And I guess it's a self-evident point that if you don't believe that you're going to make it, you generally don't. And if you do believe that you're going to make it, you're capable of achieving, you know, unbelievable things. So belief, and it sort of rang true to me, that if I don't believe in what I'm doing, if I don't believe in the company I'm working for, then I can't do good work. I just can't do it. I would never work for a company if it was just about getting a paycheck. You know, for me, doing good creative work, whether it's at Coca-Cola or Nike or Volkswagen or any of the other places I've worked, has always been about, you know, am I into what I'm doing? Do I believe in it? Do I believe in the company? Do I believe in the kind of creative mission that we're trying to accomplish? So belief, I think, is really important. By the way, belief, my definition of belief is it's hope. It starts with hope. It's hope plus facts. That's what belief is. I think hope without facts is idealism, and hope in the absence of facts or contrary to facts is arrogance, which you get a lot of actually in marketing. It's quite common. But yeah, belief is hope plus facts, you know, reinforced with facts. So embrace fear, have belief, you know, believe in what you're doing. And then the third one, and this really is an evident point, an obvious point, I guess my brother said it, he climbs up very high mountains a lot, is you need a map. You know, you sort of need to know where you're going, you know, otherwise you will die. So direction is important. And I started my life as a planner. I was on the agency side before. I moved over to the dark side about 10 years ago. I was a planner before that. And the best work that I was involved in producing was years and years ago. I'm old. It was at an agency called BMP in London, and we worked on Volkswagen. And we would write these briefs that were incredibly minute, actually, the detail of these briefs on like tiny little features of the car. But we produced, we won all of the creative awards for a few years running, actually, on that account. It was amazing. Like, the work that came off those briefs was really, really, really amazing creative work because the briefs were so tight. So, so embrace fear, believe in what you're doing, and kind of like have a direction and stick to that direction, and don't be afraid to get locked into a direction. I'm going to show you some work. I'm probably out of time. Yeah, time is up. There it says. I'm going to show you some work. There's 3 TV commercials. It's not really the point of what I'm saying is not the TV commercials. I'm going to show you some outtakes right after the TV commercials, because that's really what I want to focus on. So let's just roll the 3 TV commercials.
Jonathan, my dog needs to go to yoga and then go to his therapist, so make that happen. Don't sit down. Where did you get those amazing pants?
Oh, I got them at Old Navy.
Can you spin, please?
Sure.
You double time?
Again? Mm-hmm. Sure. Are all these questions gonna be about my pants?
This is a law firm, so yes. Tell me about your shirt.
It came for free with the pants.
You know, I don't like when people lie to me.
It's true.
How much are the pants?
$25?
What?
But not for long.
Congratulations, whatever your name is. You got the job, la la la. Make sure to lock up on your way out. Move! Sorry! Would it be weird if I bought the same ones and we wore them on the same day and we went to the beach together? Don't answer that question. You know what we do here, right?
I think so.
We represent cats in criminal trials. Would you be able to do something like that with those pants? I successfully got this guy out of jail. Jonathan, I don't make money, I sell money, and I make the money on the money I sell. Jonathan, my dog needs to go to yoga and then go to his therapist. Jonathan, the answer's no, unless the answer's yes, unless I change my mind. I said no, Jonathan. If you ask me again, I'm gonna sue you. Jonathan, it's not about the money, it's about the people. You're fired. Come on in. Don't eat food that's been handled by Terry. He's my sister's friend, and last year he, had to take a minute, and he dropped out of school. He's been cutting those peppers for 2 hours.
She sleeps in the walk-in. That one.
We're allowed to ask people about what they're wearing. Look, I don't own the joint. It's company policy. You know, for a while, I was trying to get them to stop serving kids, but nobody listened to me. Show me a law that says you have to serve a kid.
Have a healthy rejuvenation.
Namaste. Welcome to our magical place of sharing and swapping clothes. This is a cult. Do you think those pants would be good for a date?
Sure, yeah, definitely.
I have a date tonight. I'm really excited about it.
That's great.
Yeah. I mean, I'm a little worried about it too. I think it's kind of a scam because he asked me for my social security number. So, fingers crossed. I need your outfit because I have my niece's dance recital coming up. And I want to look better than her. Enlightenment is just a pair of pants away, you know? So give them to me.
Okay, that's it. I think I'm out of time. So the point is, if you have belief in what you're doing, if you're not afraid of fear, you're not afraid of making mistakes, and if you have a clear brief and a clear direction, you can let go of the reins. This relationship we have with Amy Poehler has really required me to take a leap of faith, because it's not just her as an actress, we're actually employing her. She writes the spot, she directs the spot, she's producing the spots, it's her team. And I don't know what I'm getting back most of the time. And that content, I mean, it's not about the TV commercials, it's about the content on the back of the TV commercials. That's, as you all know, that's all that people want to watch nowadays. So that's what this campaign is about. And that's the content that's going viral right now and is really blowing up. And it really requires a leap of faith to just let go of the reins and give up creative control a little bit. And that's what we're doing. Thank you.